Hey you guys, I'm super excited today to bring you my March journal that I made with the Marion Smith digital downloads. And this guy is a chunky monkey. Look at this, 3 inches of journaling. And I decided to go with a different style for mounting this mini versus the last two, because I wanted to be able to embellish the pages. And when you use the bind it all or the cinch, you have a difficult time getting all of those pages bound. And I really, it just sticks out too much. And I really wanted to do a different type of binding system. 3 inches might be a bit excessive, but I like the fact that I could use multiple embellishments throughout the book. And I used quite a bit of flowers in this book too. I like that this book sits flat when it's sitting on a table. And I like that this book is, it sits without a lot of, popping open and stuff. So anyway, let's get through the walkthrough. What I did was I used Marion in the kit gives you a journal cover, and it's inside liners and outside liners, and I just blew them up to make them a little bit bigger so that I could make my spine and my book kind of come together a little better. And then I just used a coordinating cardstock on the side. I used basil, it's like a mustard colored and it has a texture in it, and then I just ran over it with one of my Tim Holtz Distress Inks. I think it was Gathered Twigs. Favorite Distress Ink color, love it. Then I just added some bloomers here to kind of soften up where those two edges come together on the front and the back. And this was just a little butterfly I had left over in my stash. It's old vintage Prima, so I just thought he coordinated really well, and I stuck him here. And then this is just a stamp set that I have. I believe it was from Inka Dinka Doo, or no, actually I think it's Autumn Leaves. It's an old Autumn Leaves calendar. So I put that there. And then for the closure, I used some of Marion's trinkets. And this is the bulldog closure thing, and it has the little tassels, and then I just added a couple of little charms and things to it. Love that. Then on the inside, this is an add-on to the journal pieces, the tabs. Love them. They are universal. You can use them month after month. So I used them this month. And on the cover, just to kind of soften this edge, I added some lace. And the binding system for this, I did a tutorial on it step by step. I haven't loaded it yet because I have to edit the video. If I get a chance, I'll get that up sometime before the end of the weekend, so look for that. And then this is day 1, and these are not in order as Marion has them designed to be, so you may want to check the website if you want them in a different order. And then also I went through some of the designs that Marion has in here, some of the motifs, and I printed them a couple of times and then fussy cut a bunch of elements out. So throughout this entire book you're going to see little postcards and tags and things like that. And I'll point it out when I get to it, but all I did was print them out, reduce the sizes, enlarge the sizes so I could get some very varied sizes. And then I had a bunch of these hydrangea Prima leaves. I think these are Prima. And the E-line flowers. And I think some of the got flowers that old. It was just an old stash of flowers. And I've been using them throughout this. This is a great way to use up some of those older, flatter flowers that we don't use that much anymore. So for day 1, this was an envelope, and I basically put the envelope down and then cut the top off. And then on that, my picture for that day is the box that I received for my January Secret Squirrely box. I had gotten it that day, and the calendar challenge, and I did an entire video on it. Oh my goodness, I cried like a baby. But this is from Jade, and Jade and I are very good friends, and I was so excited to get a box from her because I didn't have anything that she had created other than a card. So this was like super exciting for me, and I wrote a little note on here about that experience and how good of friends we've become. And then I just tied it up with some seam binding at the top that was just laying on my desk from packages that people have shared with me. And I just love how that little bow kind of sticks out there at the top, and it matches the little hydrangeas. The color palette for this month is this kind of turquoisey blue with yellows, browns, and greens. awesome color palette, guys. Love it. Then this was just a remnant left over from where I made a card, and I used it, put some twine on here, some more Prima flowers. Then on day 2, I'd gone on a scrapbook shop hop with some friends of mine, Allison and Mary Kay, and the theme of the shop hop was the pirates. So we had picture ops at every store that had pirate, and then as you can see, Johnny Depp has snuck into our picture. I don't know what he was doing there. And then this was just off the website for the pirate show, so I just cut it out, made a little embellishment for it. This was one of the pirate picture ops that I had the following day, which was day 3. It was a weekend kind of getaway. It was really nice. And then this also was in it was a license plate that was in one of the displays, and I just took a picture of it and used it as an embellishment on the page. On day 3, I also included another picture that we had of that day. On day 4, my daughter sat in here in my room with me while I put all my goodies up, and she drew this little Zentangle for me. It's like a dress form, and I think I'm going to have it made into a stamp. But it goes down inside of this little envelope, which is part of the kit too. Love that. I took some extra pages that I had pre-cut out for the embellishments, and I just punched a bunch of butterflies and stuff like that out. Again, Eline flowers. Day 4, I also, as I was putting my stuff up, I had taken a picture of some of the die cuts that I had bought on the shop hop. Love them. Like, I'm addicted to them. That's all I've been doing since I bought them, is cutting them out like crazy. And I just put a little doily back here for embellishment, and up here as well for embellishment. On day 5, I made this awesome cake that I had gotten off of Pinterest, and it's 1 box of angel food cake mix, a can of your favorite pie filling, mix it together, bake it. Awesome. Now this one, the pie filling that I used was a little bit dry, so I used a 1/4 cup of milk, but I have the recipe right here. Pinterest, awesome, 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 awesome. And then I wrote a little bit about how the kids really liked it, and Kenny. And then these are just elements cut from the page. This is actually one of the day inserts that I reduced down tinky tiny. I think it was down to 10%, and this is what I got, and I used it as a tag. Thought it was cute. More of those gardenias, and then a little butterfly that I cut from the collection. On day 6, I had made these journal pages of when we went around for the shop hop, they gave us like enough stuff to make a 6x6 layout for each page, but instead of doing a layout, I decided to do some Smashbook stuff. So these are the pictures from my Smashbook pages that I created using those elements, and some of the things that I had collected along the way. Talked about it here. Day 7, this is a typical day at my house. Notice the boys in here, and I don't even think all of them are in the picture that were there that day. And you know, they're sitting there playing PlayStation. So what I did was I took a picture of the TV as well, and I'm going to stick it down inside this envelope. But some of these, that the pictures were going in the envelopes, I just left them out so while we flip through, it'd be easy to get to. On this day, it was one of those that you cut down the side and include this little envelope, which I think is adorable. I'll be using this on a bunch of stuff. And more of those little Eline flowers. Got milk flowers, got flowers. I always call them got milk. And then on this day, I think this is day 8, our iris had started blooming in our koi pond, so I had gone out and taken some pictures of those. And then on this note, I included a little note about the fact that Kenny loves these. Every time they bloom, he reminds me that they're his grandmother's favorite flower. So I wanted to note that, and I put a little special message down inside the envelope. So there's our irises that are blooming in our koi pond. And it's so weird because they only bloom up to Easter, and then they just quit blooming. And I don't know if it's just that it gets hot here or what, but they do really well in the koi pond if you guys have koi ponds. And they multiply like crazy in there. Crazy. Again, little things that I cut out from the paper collection. Oh my goodness, on day 9, Brayden comes home from school with his friends and grabs the shears out of the bathroom and proceeds to give his friend a haircut. But look at his look on his face. Oh my gosh, I would never allow him to do that. And again, more embellishments, twine, things like that for day 10. My dog was laying on her she has her own couch in my living room, and she's laying on the couch, and I swear to God, she's looked dead. Look at that. She's got her eyes rolled back in her head, but they're open, and her tongue is curled up in a little curl and snoring to beat the banshee. So I took a picture of Miss Angel because she's not going to be with us very much longer. She's very old, and I'm going to go back through some of my old discs and put some more pictures of Angel down inside the envelope. On day 11, I had made this picture in my journal, in my smash book. So I wanted to include it, and I had used some of Garrett Smith's embellishments to make it. So there it is right there. I think we get to Garrett's thing later on. Then on, let's see, what day is that? Day 12, I had made this card that was a dress form. So I took a picture of it. And then on day 13, it's an insert. I'm not going to pull it out, but it's Garrett's book that I had made. And I put lots of pictures inside of here. I just don't want to pull them out because it'd be hard to get them in. And then I had printed this page twice by accident, so I just cut this little butterfly out and included it here, so it's kind of dimensional. And on day 14, I had done my squirrely box, the top of my squirrely box, and I had made this dress form out of chicken wire, and I included it, and then a picture of the squirrely box. And then on this side, again, a lot of fussy cutting out of the images, and I just die cut some hearts, some twine, I fussy cut one of the flowers out, included some of the Eline flowers, and this is the inside of my box. And this doesn't want to bend very well because of the type of binding I have on it, but day 15, I have some cards that I had made, so I took pictures of it. Day 16 is another journal page that I had created. This picture's been on my desk. I move it, shift it one side to the other all the time. So I finally just put it in a smash book, used some of my scraps to make the smash book. Then on day 17, I had made my journal for my squirrel box, so I put a picture of that in there. And I'd also made this picture for my nephew. This card for my nephew for his birthday. On day 18, I took some pictures of the amaryllises that were in my yard and the roses that were in my yard. And then on day 19, I went to my nephew's birthday party, and we had a little relay races in the front yard and took a picture of his cake. And then on this side, this is a picture of the birthday boy, and then this is a new stamp that I just got from Michael's, and this is Dream Big. And then on day 20, Brittany had received a swap from Miranda Edney, and it was this altered book that was amazing. I did a video on it, so go check it out, and a frame, so I took pictures of that. And then on day 21, I took pictures of my nieces. Aren't they gorgeous? And so I did day 21 a little different than what Marion had it designed for. She originally had this little cutout, but when I started binding it, I was having trouble getting my stuff to fit. So what I did was I just made it into a top pocket and then put the cutout into the pocket, and then these are my nieces. I put larger photos of my nieces from the photo session that we took. So there they are. Just put that aside. Okay, and then on day 22, I had made this this other journal page using February's challenge. These were leftover scraps that I just used them up in a layout. Thought that was super cute. On day 23, same leftovers from the swap, made a card. Super cute. Talked a little bit about the person that I was going to mail the card to. Day 24, I'd made this card for my mom. I think March was my card making month. I'd made a lot of cards that month. This was a card I made for my mom for her birthday. And then this is a picture of my mom who was over here for her birthday party, and she would not look at me. So that's the best picture I could get. Then on day 25, we have this little pocket. And when I say this was a typical day in the Tonya household, I'm not kidding. This is the same group of boys, maybe a couple more added to it, and they're all in my living room doing the P90 eggs. I was laughing. It was so entertaining. Loved it. Then on day 26, my daughter had drawn this. This was part of her swap for Miranda Edney's journal. The swap that she had done with Miranda. So this was a canvas that she had created. Absolutely gorgeous. Very proud of her. So I did a little bit of writing about that on here. Again, just used some of the ephemera that was left over from cutting out, fussy cutting some of the elements on the page. Did one of my little doilies that I'm absolutely obsessed with. Day 27. Is there any wonder why this little boy has a broken arm? No, because he's always on a skateboard. He's always on something. So he fell at the playground. Cute, cute little Cooper, and there he is sticking his tongue out at me. On day 28, I received my squirrely box for February, and I took some pictures of it from this angle, did some fussy cutting with some of the elements, added some of the flowers, and then on this side, this was all the handmade stuff that I had gotten in that swap, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. Loved the dress form and the mussy tussy. I don't know what that thing is called. Anyway, I love it, and it's sitting over here. It's got flowers in it. And then on day 29, I had made this dessert, and I've got the recipe here on the other side. On day 30, I had made this card for a birthday gift for my friend, and I talked a little bit about the relationship I have with that friend in here on the inside. And then on day 31, yay, we're through the book. This is my nieces, and they play soccer on the same team, so I snapped a photograph of them really quick. And this is Amber, and this is Avery. So thank you guys for watching. Again, check out the tutorial when I get it posted on how this was bound. And I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for paying attention to this long video, but I absolutely love these designs, Marion. This is, I know I say this every month, but this is my favorite month. But I think it's because it has a lot of my favorite colors in it, and the color combo is very springy. So I will put the link to Marion's store down there in the bottom for you guys to go check out her designs. And again, thanks for watching.